So when Rahu is in fifth house in natural zodiac, that is in the universal man horoscope, the fifth house will correspond to Leo. But here we are considering Rahu placement in fifth house in any native's horoscope. Maybe the sign may not be Leo, but the house in fifth house, when Rahu is there, then the person will develop the qualities of the fifth house in his life. Fifth house, what are the areas of the fifth house? Intellectualism, writing, creativity, publication, celebrity, king like status, power, authority. So these are the areas developed by the fifth house. So in the present life, all those natives whose Rahu is in the fifth house, they will seek the creativity in this life. They will seek writing in this life. They have an inclination towards music. They may have inclination towards dance. They may be interested in politics. They may do well in politics because fifth house also denotes politics. They are good diplomat, and they are good in their intellectual. They will produce some good work of intellect. Good. They will produce some of their work in study, because fifth house is also a house of study. So the native will have to develop these areas because Rahu is sitting in fifth house, and these areas are developed later in life, because when Rahu sits in a particular house, then that area is developed later in life, more particularly so after 20 or after 30 years. And then what will happen to the ketu, which is sitting in the 11th house? Now 11th house is a house of gain. The 11th house is a house of friends. The 11th house is a house of groups. 11th house is a house of all sorts of income. So how can you imagine that if Ketu is sitting, can you imagine that if Ketu is sitting in 11th house, then the person will not be inclined towards gain because he has gained a lot in his past life, because he has associated with many groups in his past life. So he will not seek for his presence in the group or his dominance in the group in the present life. Yes, that will be the nature of the native. But gain, who doesn't want gain? So Ketu will give these all things later in his life by the development of the qualities of the fifth house by Rahu. So if you are a celebrity, obviously people will come to you. You may not have to join a group. You will be the attraction of the group, because your fifth house, in your fifth house there is Rahu, and Rahu is making you more dominant in becoming a celebrity, in pursuing your creativity, and these all things will give you the results of the 11th house, that is gain by your creativity. You will gain by your creativity. You will attract to the group because of your celebrity status, because of your kingly status. So Ketu, which is sitting in the 11th house, it is making the native minds less inclined to the gain, less inclined to the income. The native is not interested in making opportunities in his life. The native, the opportunity come in this way and he loses in that way, because Ketu is sitting there. Because the native has got a lot of opportunities. He has gained a lot of opportunities in his previous life. So in this life, he is concentrating on the creativity. That is the fifth house. That is the opposite areas that what is denoted by 11th house. Now 11th house is the love that we get from other people. But 5th house is the love that we make for other people. So that's why it is a house of creativity. So what will the native do? Because Rahu is sitting in the 5th house, so the native will make initiative in love making, as Ketu is sitting in 11th house. So if he is not getting love from people, from partners, he will initiate the process of love, because 5th house is all the love that we initiate, and 11th house is all the love that we receive from others. So all these things that is denoted by the 11th house is compensated by presence of Rahu in 5th house, because 5th house will give all the things that is denoted by the 11th house if 5th house is strong, because each axis has opposite qualities. So if one house is lacking in that quality, then the other house compensate for it. So later in his life, he will get a lot of gains without seeking it. That is the quality of Ketu, that initially it declines because the native's interest is not in the field of areas denoted by the house where Ketu sits, but those areas and those things are automatically coming in the life of the native without seeking him. So without seeking you will get gain. Without seeking you will get a lot of love from others. Without seeking people will come to you to make you in their group. So similarly, Rahu and Ketu in other houses can be considered. Keep watching me and stay tuned to me.